Good morning, student. Today we are going to discuss about an inspiring play about a heroic old man who saves his village from being washed away by a tidal wave. He does this by burning his entire year's harvest to raise an alarm and warn his people. Name of this play is Hamaguchi Gohie. It is written by Kylie Tennant. Kylie Tennant was an Australian playwright, novelist, and short story writer. She was a publicity officer for the Australian Broadcast Commission as well as working as a journalist, union organizer, reviewer, a publisher's literary advisor and editor, and a member of the Commonwealth Literary Fund Advisory Board. Hamaguchi Gohie is an interesting play based on a true story about a heroic old man who loved his village so much that he thought nothing of burning all his rice stacks to save the people in the village. One afternoon, Hamaguchi sat with his young grandson and they were watching the people in the village below. As Hamaguchi's eyesight is not good anymore, so Tara was describing about the village. Tara said that rice crop had been good. The villagers were holding their harvest festival. The streets were decorated. Villagers were about to join in the harvest dance. Hamaguchi asked Tara that if he wants, he can go down to the village, but Tara replies, "Grandfather, I would rather stay with you because I love you." He says that he loves him, so he cannot leave him alone. Everyone loves you, grandfather. There are 90 houses in the village, but none as large as ours. There are many wise grandfathers, but none so wise as our Hamaguchi Gohie. From this paragraph, we can understand that all the villagers love and respect Hamaguchi Gohie for his kindness and wisdom. Hamaguchi says Tara that a man who listens to the sea learns to be very humble. Tara, when I was a little boy, I sat at the feet of my grandfather. He told me stories. Shall I tell you a story? What shall it be? Tara is very happy. He was clapping his hands and sitting at his grandfather's feet. The story, the lady who turned into a fox. No. The story of a frog in the well. That is funny one. In this paragraph, we can understand a grandson is demanding for a funny story from his grandpa. Now Hamaguchi started story. Once there was a frog who lived in a well. Then he suddenly felt a mild shake and his house rocked. Then stood still. Hamaguchi had felt many earthquakes before. He was not at all frightened until he looked towards the sea. He told Tara, "Don't be afraid, little fellow, it's an earthquake. It is over now." Then Tara replies that, "Grandfather, the house shook, the earth shook." Hamaguchi, shaking Tara's arm. Look towards the village. What do you see? Tara, they are all running to and fro. But grandfather, the sea. The sea is running away from the land. When he hears Tara's description of the sea being shucked away, he realizes that a tidal wave is about to strike. Hamaguchi had heard about what happens when a sea is shucked away. He knew that what the sea was about to do. No time to send a message to the village. No time to ring the big bell. Yet people must be warned. He called his little grandson. Light a torch, quick! The boy was puzzled. He replies that it is a broad daylight. How the people will see light? How the people will see light of the torch? Hamaguchi, if you love me, obey me. Ask no question. Run hard. Set fire to the rice. Tara panics. Grandfather, the beautiful rice. We worked so hard. Even the women and babies picking up every grain. Hamaguchi had no time to answer. He set Tara to set fire to the rice. Tara was crying, but he said he would go and set it on fire. Hamaguchi shouts, "Run, run! Hear me, O merciful, loving spirit!" He was praying to God, and he said, "I am not praying for myself, but for my village." We gather from Hamaguchi's prayer that he is a selfless man. He cares more about the villagers than himself. Tara couldn't realize why he has been asked to set the rice stacks on fire. But he followed the instructions of his grandfather. Villagers saw fire and came running up the hill to put out the fire on seeing the rice stacks burning. First villager, how did it happen? Second villager, water. We must form a chain to the well and fetch water. Hamaguchi, stay where you are. He did not allow anybody to go anywhere. He asked whether everybody were there or not. First villager, yes, two. We might be able to save them. Hamaguchi, let them burn. They wanted to save that rice stacks, but Hamaguchi stopped them to do that. Tara, to the villagers. Grandfather has gone mad. He made me to do it. Hamaguchi asked, are all the people here? Are there any left behind? Villagers, the old folk are toiling up the hill. Hamaguchi to the men. Go back and help them. Quick, quick, man. Not a minute to lose. Bring them all here at once. The men go out running. Poor Hamaguchi. Indeed, he is mad. He set fire to the rice. The men enter, supporting the old people. Hamaguchi, are all people here? Villagers, yes, Hamaguchi, all have reached the top. Hamaguchi, no one is left below in the village. Villagers, no one. to the old people. Isn't it dreadful? He has gone crazy. Hamaguchi, pointing. Now you shall see if I am mad. Tara, look out the sea. Tara, screaming. The wave, the great wave. Look, the sea is coming back. Villager screamed. The people looked, and far out at sea they saw a great wall of water swiftly sweeping towards them. It was the returning sea. The people shrieked. They saw a wild sea ragging over their village. Great angry waves tumbled above the housetops. They rolled away, roaring, tearing out houses and trees and great rocks and bearing them off. Again the wall of water struck, and again with less force each time. At last it fell back once more to its former bed. The people were speechless. Their village was gone, their temple, their fields, nothing was left but a few straw roofs floating on the water. But every man and woman and child was safe high up on the mountain. Villagers were sad because their entire village, their homes, their harvests had all been washed away. But they were grateful that they were safe and alive because they knew that they could rebuild their village. Hamaguchi says, that is why I begged. Bed means told. Tara, set fire to the rice. We have nothing left to eat, but we are all safe. Let us give thanks. All villagers were shouting, Hamaguchi, you are a hero. You have saved us all. And the villagers said they would build another village. They would build another temple. And on a stone in letters of gold, they would carve the name of Hamaguchi Gohie, who saved his people.